or if I'm feeling really really daring, that really really awesome ColecoVision joystick. Zero Awakening. What is the kanji at the beginning of the Squad Broken video? It is the word for preparing. It was the only way I could translate the words getting ready in a smaller kind of text. So if I just say preparing, then that would pretty much cover it. This, of course, is a lot different. Yeah, something else is being said here, and well, if you can read Japanese, well, you've got something funny there. This one I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to let the experts point at it and laugh. But yeah, I got myself a nice connector, and if I'm feeling really daring, I'm gonna try. I could try to get that ColecoVision joystick. Not the one that comes with the ColecoVision, mind you. There's this really, really special arcade style joystick that I really, really want to get. And now that I have a connector to plug it into my pooter, I really, really want to get that now. And I'm going to hunt it down real quick just to show the stream what I'm talking about. Vision arcade. I figured just the words ColecoVision and arcade will pretty much cover it, but actually no, it's not covering it. Amazing. I figured it would have been there, but it's not. Maybe if I type in ColecoVision joystick. Yes, the Super Action Controller. Yeah. It's got 4 buttons in the trigger as well as a number pad on top. Yeah, I definitely want to stick that in my computer. And if you think about it really, really hard, you can make that statement a little bit dirty. Preparation. No, that's definitely not what that second set of kanji is. But we can dream, can't we? Um, Something else happened while I was testing out the Sega 6-button pad with my emulators. I found out that the start button was not going inside the flush correctly, meaning it wasn't being pressed all that well. When I was pressing it, it was I had to I had to kind of fight with it just to press it down, and it slowly popped itself back up into place. And there was really no excuse. I had to go and get a screwdriver, open it up, find out what the hell was going on with it. Turned out that there was some kind of sticky substance. Some kind of sticky substance inside the little tube hole where the start button flushes inside the controller itself. Yeah, evidently, I don't know if it was myself or it was my brother back in the day, but one of us had spilled, I'm guessing, soda. It's the only thing that could have been made sticky afterwards. Maybe some kind of caramel or maybe chocolate. I don't know. But something got in there and it stuck. And it was constantly rubbing against the button, causing it to slowly move its way down and back up again. So it took a short while to clean it out and fix it. Of course, after I plugged it in, I found out that it had problems with the buttons anyway. Pressing down or left would affect the B button somehow. So had to wind up throwing that controller away anyway. Luckily, I had another one. Anyway, so I've been testing the 6-button pad with various games. I found myself using the mode button a lot more than I normally would. Technically, the mode button does act as an additional button, even though it's meant for holding it in when you turn on the Genesis to switch from 3-button to 6-button mode, which is essential for certain Genesis games. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to get a proper performance out of your game. I know I know it sounds a little bit like gibberish, but it's true. Whenever whenever you try to play games like Golden Axe 2, for example, with the 6-button pad, you'll find out that the only way you can move your character is with the buttons themselves instead of the control pad. I don't understand how that worked, but that was why the mode button was very important. But luckily, it's not the case this time. I can just plug the SEGA pad into this special cable that goes into the USB port, and there we go. I can utilize all 8 buttons. I was going to say 7, but it's not 7, it's 8. I can use all 8 buttons and the D-pad. So that's fun. Although I kind of miss using the triggers on the USB Saturn pad. I'll probably still be using it from time to time, but I would rather use something that had decent buttons that didn't feel like it was going to break on me. Uh, I have to agree, Zero Awakening. Peripherals on the PC do act weird at times. And one comes to mind. There is an adapter called, it's by a company called Mayflash, and I bought from them a Wii classic controller adapter. And for the most part it works. Kinda. However, it had shitty Windows 7 drivers. And I don't understand why it does this, but it was the first time I had ever, and I think it's the only time I have ever, seen a stop error, a blue screen of death on Windows 7. I still don't understand why, and I have yet to see a driver update for this adapter. So, yeah, I pretty much had to chuck the adapter into the gaming bin. Depending on how you set up the PS3 controller, it will not know how to handle motion or right stick. Um, I'll have to take your word on that because I do not have a PS3. I also don't have a PS3 controller, so I can't really agree or disagree with that statement. So I'll just take your word for it. For now, anyway. Although I will say this, I did try out an Xbox 360 controller that had the wire. Have yet to try the wireless. I do have the wireless interface adapter, so I could try that somewhere down the line. But I have tried the wired 360 pad, and for the most part, it kind of works. But it depends mostly on you using the analog stick for all kinds of movement. And for the stuff I'm doing, I don't want to use the analog stick. Analog sticks are not meant to be used like joysticks. They're not joysticks. They're basically mice turned upside down, or even trackballs, if you will, the kind that don't get dirty. They're they're analog controllers. They're not joysticks. And it pains me that that these developers are expecting us to treat analog controllers like joysticks. It pisses me off. I apologize. And you mentioned Super Meat Boy in the chat. I I never play that game with the analog stick. I go straight for the D-pad because that is a D-pad game. I love D-pad games. It's just it gives you that classic arcade feel. And I'm going to harp on it again. I can't stand how they want us to play with the analog stick like it's a joystick. I don't get that. Okay, I'm going to start the game in a moment. Had to check on a message. That and get rid of some gas in my belly. So, the other day, I was practicing getting some Amiga discs working. I've kind of dabbled a little bit with the Amiga, not the actual computer itself, because I never had that kind of money. But I did have an emulator, but I never got a whole lot of games to work with it. But the first one I put in was called Bonanza Brothers, which is a port of an old Sega arcade game. It turned out to be an unplayable mess. How do you make a great Sega arcade game an unplayable mess? It's a two button game, and yet somehow they managed to program the game to where one button handled everything from jumping to shooting to opening doors. And you can't do that because the game relies on stealth, as you'll see in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and start the game here. Winners don't use drugs. I don't think these guys are worried about using drugs. Good evening, boys. I've got a job waiting for you in the alley. We're going to clean up Badville once and for all. To do that, we need evidence. And it's up to you to get it from those crooked joints that are run by counterfeiters, thieving bankers, and cheating casino operators. I'm depending on you, boys. I really wish I could play this with a second player. If anyone's watching this highlight, I know you're watching it live, Zero Awakening. Um, if anyone's watching the highlight of this game, please, if you know of any way that I can run a net play version of MAME and not have it look like ass in the end, because I've tried Kylera and it's unstable as fuck. Or if you can somehow get Kylera to work with MAME, please email me at reesecane@gmail.com. I would love to know how this works because I have yet to get it to work. I've got some people that would love to do some co-op and even some head-to-head arcade gaming, preferably on the stream where people can see them kicking my ass. Yeah, right. But yes, this is Bonanza Brothers by SEGA. Do you want to choose the training stage? I believe I do. This would be the training stage. You can walk on either side. Open door by shoot button. You can hide behind pillars, etc. No! You can hide behind stairs. He is looking outside, and he is sleeping. Now you won't be noticed. Get the treasure and escape. Hello, Super Bowl 3. Welcome to the stream. And that would be Bonanza Brothers. As you can see, this game relies entirely on stealth. As you can plainly see, I am failing at it. At first glance, it does look like you're a thief. However, there evidently is a storyline where you are gathering evidence of some kind to clean up the city. It doesn't help, though, that you are essentially dressed up like a friggin' bank robber. Or at the least part of some kind of jewel thief. And as Superbo 3 points out in the chat, it really does look like the basis for what essentially became known as the Larry the Looter sketch on The Simpsons. That was kind of a weird grunt coming out of the big guy there. Sounded like he was about ready to puke. Oh, I went to jail. This is the arcade game. However, the other day I was playing the Amiga port. And I gotta tell you, if you ever want to try an unplayable mess, go ahead and give the Amiga version of this game a try, because, again, it is an unplayable mess. I doubt you will ever see a Super NES version of this game. But yeah, you can play this on the Genesis, and I think there is a Master System port of this game. So by all means, try it out. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Bonus stage! The meaning of that first kanji, that was, I told you what it was. It was the word preparing. It's the second one I'm never going to say what it meant. Amazing. The roulette wheels look like kitchen sinks. Ow. I have a sneaking suspicion that hurt. Evidently, I am going to raid the mint. Yeah, not very stealthy I is. Although I am getting the hang of the jumping. Animal cruelty. Well, but at least he paid for it. No, he didn't. Here's a fun little game that you can play at home. So far, I'm at stage 5. Go ahead and place your bets as to how many more quarters I'm going to pump into this game before I finish. We'll have the answer once the game is over. Really? This is what it's come to? I'm robbing a grocery store? Yeah, that's definitely a sign of bad boy pride. Robbing what can only amount to a department store? Really, is the Kill Bill tracksuit really worth stealing? Regarding the list of games that I want to play, it's not really what I want to play, it's what I wind up drawing out of the fishbowl. And I kind of have a backlog of games that I drew out and I never got around to playing yet. Mostly because of problems I was having right and left and just overall procrastination. But I do have Sega CD games in my collection. It is a little hard to buy the storyline of gathering evidence when you're in a store stealing electronics and expensive cloth. I don't get it. I think deep down Sega felt they needed to have some sort of justification for you stealing shit. And if that's the case, well, what about Iron Horse, where you play the role of a train robber? And that was made by friggin' Konami of all people. No, companies. I hear you. I jumped right into that one. What the fuck? Okay, I let that one happen, evidently. I have successfully robbed a mine. How do you rob a mine? So I'm guessing the objective is to try to not be seen and grab as many of these things as possible. Yep. I failed. Jewelry store. Yeah. Evidence. Another game over. Look at that cop. He's scared shitless. At least I think he's a cop. It can't be a rent-a-cop. They don't carry guns. At least they're not supposed to carry guns. Interesting how the bigger they are, the more shit they can take in their face. Wait, what? The laboratory. So evidently I'm stealing medical research. I don't get it. Are they trying to say egad or e-pad? E-pad? What the fuck? And that's the end of that one. I am now robbing a cruise ship. Definitely has more shorter reaction time. And the last thing you want to do is get caught in there. Wow, I'm just burning through lives, aren't I? Can't help but wonder how much money I would have spent if this were a real arcade. Well, that's why I'm holding that bet right now as to with you as to how many quarters have I spent trying to finish this. Oh wait, I'm supposed to go the other way. What the hell? It almost sounds like he's saying D-pad. Oh, I'll never get tired of that. Yeah, did you really need the signal for the others? You could have taken me up by yourself. Which kind of leads me to wonder, how am I supposed to get past these guys? I mean, it's obvious they want stealth, but how do you be stealthy when you already have tons and tons of shit coming at you? Oh my god, another bonus stage! And they don't give you a whole lot of places to hide this time. Made with 1 second. Stage 11, the Art Museum. On the surface, it looks like a really linear path. Game over, yeah. Oh, you're kidding me. You're really expecting me to go all the way up there and take that zip line. Yeah, this game is expecting a little too much out of me. Who designed this house? You know, it wouldn't surprise me if it was someone named Spencer. Stage 12, the pyramid. Okay, why are there cops inside a pyramid? Really? Yeah, mummies would have made more sense as pyramid security. And since there was no duck button, I couldn't really dodge that. They're really expecting a lot out of you. Probably too much. Animal cruelty is funny. And what you just saw there was a dick move by SEGA. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They put trap doors in this maze. And you're right, it's another excuse to get people to pump in more and more quarters. But it's still a dick move to put in a trap door at the end of one of the missions. I'm starting to wonder, is this the last one? Because this is the first time we ever had to deal with a trap door. Congratulations! Evidently that was the last mission. That blimp doesn't look anything like a bomb. It's at this time they really start getting cheap. You have already sunk in so much money, it would be a waste to stop now. Yeah, I can agree to that. Oh yes, and it's time for the big reveal. How much did I spend playing this game? Bookkeeping info. You're kidding me. It didn't record any of the coins? Usually it records how much coins you spend. I find that rather peculiar. It didn't record how many coins you inserted? What's the point of the feature? There's not supposed to be a limit, Mr. Superbow. That's why it's supposed to be a bookkeeping feature. By the way, I'm noticing an awful lot of flashing. I've check this. Gotta check the stream real quick. The streamer thingy. Okay, it's not shooting the bitrate up, so evidently the flashing movie window isn't doing anything for the bitrate, which I guess is good. Yeah, by the way, wasn't it funny when I shot the dog and it fell over and then got back up again just so I could shoot it again? Again, animal abuse. So funny. So very funny. I yawned. So that's Bonanza Brothers.